Good evening, everyone. Happy New Year, and welcome to the City of Middletown Planning Board, January the 8th, 2025 meeting. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, with a little housekeeping first for our transcriptionist. This evening, we have some members that are absent. Ms. Witt, she is not feeling well. Ms. Houston, she had a previous obligation on another board. Mr. Higbee is absent and also had an obligation at a previous obligation at another board. Also present this evening is Rich Krogan, the planning board attorney, Sexto Martinez, the planning board code enforcement / building inspector representative, and Michael Guattari, who is our fire department representative. All right. Also this evening, we only have 4 planning board members here. That means you would need, if you're going to get approval tonight for anything, a unanimous vote. Okay, all 4. We don't see that being a problem, but if we do along the way, we'll work something out. Okay. Also, if this is your first time here this evening as an applicant, your appearance is considered a preliminary hearing, and the planning board may or may not choose to act or vote on that application tonight. All right, so that's all the paperwork stuff we have to get done. So this evening, we will start with the approval of December the 4th, 2024 minutes. I need a motion for approval. Mr. Brito, second. Mr. Madden. Discussion. Roll call. Mr. Madden.
Yes.
Mr. McCormick.
Yes.
Mr. Brito.
Yes.
And I vote yes. Thank you. First on the agenda this evening, and I always apologize if I misspeak your name, Francesli Pena. Please step up to the mic, miss. State your name for the record.
Yeah, Francesli Peña.
And what you plan on doing.
I'm planning to do a little salon nails and hair.
Okay.
183 West Main Street.
Thank you. Ms. Tu, do we have the mailings? Okay, in that case, I'll open the public hearing. Ms. Tu, do we have anything in writing? Anyone on the phone? I'll go to the public. Anyone here wishing to speak on this application, please step forward. No one stepping forward. I'll go to the board for any questions, comments, or concerns. Mr. McCormick?
Good evening. I'm just a little concerned about the parking over on that area. West Main Street, between the Korean restaurant on the corner, the liquor store on the other side, the barber shop, and the deli. What are your plans for parking over there?
We have like 2 or 3 on the back, and I planning working like by appointment. So for now, I'm working by myself. So I think I don't need a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm sorry, my English is not.
I know.
I try.
Now, the map that you guys provided, I'm a little confused about the orientation of it. The parking lot that is on this document, is this the parking lot behind the deli, or is this behind your building?
Behind the building.
Behind your building?
Yes.
No.
No?
That's the parking lot across from your building where the landlord owns the property.
The street?
Yes.
Oh, on the street, yeah.
Just,
Then what is the driveway on the other side? There's not 2 driveways on West Main Street. So you have the Korean restaurant, there's their loading dock, there's 183, there's not a...
yeah, right across the street from 183, there's a driveway that goes between, it used to be a medical rental place and the conglomerate of buildings where the barber shop is and the liquor store is. That's a steep driveway that goes in the back. You also can enter that driveway or that parking lot from California Avenue,
Right.
okay?
So in this drawing, where's California Avenue? It's not, well,
But it would be all the way to the right in that drawing.
Yes. She
The
just says-
parking lot that's being shown is directly behind 183 West Main Street, and I don't believe that parking lot exists.
Yes, it's on the opposite side. Yeah, I agree. You see where it says West Main Street and driveway?
Yep.
That's where the parking is.
But there's a second driveway on the that's what I'm saying, there's not two driveways on West Main Street. There's not a parking lot.
This one that's highlighted.
Yeah. According to this
Yeah,
document, there's two.
that's incorrect. I don't know why that's highlighted there. Okay, I don't know why that's there. I only know that across from 183 West Main Street, off of West Main Street, that driveway you see listed there goes into the back, into that building complex back there where all those parking lots are. That's where he owns that property.
How many,
Or landlord.
how many
There's a parking
parking
lot
spots
behind
would
that
she be allowed to
I
have?
think she's allowed about 3 or 4, I think. It came in an email form. I don't know if it's in your packet.
That's what I'm confused
It might be.
about.
It might be in
Is
the email.
that her parking lot, or
Just for the record, 183 has been a gaming store and also a beauty salon for a short period of time. And each one that we've approved has been approved under the same premise, that he supplies parking spots in the lot that he owns.
Just think that our concern is that the site plan is demonstrating or displaying a parking lot that does not exist.
Yes, I agree.
So the site plan is inaccurate.
I don't know who drew this for her, and I'm not even sure who it came from. In fact, I'm not sure if it's even supposed to be in this packet, because this says 101 Mohegan Avenue. To be honest with you, I don't know what it's doing in the packet.
So would she need to get a new site plan?
No, I don't think she needs a new site plan, and this needs to be taken out of the application. Did you supply this drawing here? Martina, do you know if she supplied that drawing?
Yes. It's signed for,
But you're right, that parking lot should not be part of this application because it's incorrect. We can have her amend it and give us a better site plan. That's not,
I mean, it's obviously not a deal breaker
No,
from
not-
projects
not the end of
past,
the
but
world.
just going forward, like Mr. Madden's saying, having it on record as being there, I think is our concern.
Maybe that's why he's showing it 101.
You can condition the approval upon the applicant providing a site plan that's
Why did he
indicative
send
of
this?
the area.
you're allowed to use.
I mean, I think that'd be
parking area
appropriate
of one-
and safer for us.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
he
owns
is
all
signed,
this.
okay, all right. Martina has kind of cleared this up. That when an applicant came for 101 Mohegan Avenue, this landlord also owns 101 Mohegan Avenue. So he gave the same parking rights to 101 Mohegan Avenue, and he just sent this with the application. It's wrong, I understand. We'll have her amend it, or the landlord amend it, and properly display the parking lot off of the West Main Street, down the driveway and in the back.
behind the deli and?
Yes. We've had that in the past. He just got lazy and sent the wrong thing. That's my opinion.
What are your, do you intend to have other people working with you, that you'll be able to service more than one customer at a time at some point in the future, or is this gonna be it for the time being?
I think it's just one customer for the time. I work by appointment, so
Thank you.
Did she supply her license?
Yes. So, Ms. Tu, when we get a chance, we'll have to contact the landlord and have him revise that site plan for us, please. Okay.
Mr. Martinez, any issues?
No issues presently.
Mr. Guadari, any issues?
Not at this time, sir.
Is there any issue with ventilation?
We had already discussed that, and she's aware of what she has to do and install to be compliant.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else from the board? All right, I'll go back to the public hearing. Anyone present wishing to speak on this application, please step forward. No one stepping forward. I need a motion to close the public hearing. Mr. Brito, I need a second. Mr. McCormick, all in favor? Aye. Public hearing has been closed. What did I do?
Nothing.
Okay. All right, so one of the first things we have to do with this resolution is we're going to make a slight amendment, make sure we cover our bases. Resolution for 183 West Main Street, Nail and Hair Salon. I need a motion to amend 183 West Main Street, with the reason being that anyone performing the professional services of said application must obtain and display a proper license by the state of New York, which she has already submitted in her packet for her, but any of her employees obviously will have to have a state of New York license. So I need a motion on that amendment. Mr. McCormick, I need a second. Mr. Madden? Any discussion? Mr. Madden?
Yes.
Mr. McCormick?
Yes.
Mr. Brito?
Yes.
I vote yes. On the motion to approve the amended resolution, 183 West Main Street, Nail and Hair Salon, for the reason being that anyone performing the professional services of said application must obtain and display proper license by the state of New York, I need a motion. Mr. McCormick, Mr. Brito, second. Discussion. Roll call. Mr. Madden?
Yes.
Mr. McCormick?
Yes.
Mr. Brito?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Next on the agenda this evening is G Lock Sports LLC, 72 Wisner Avenue. Good evening, sir.
Hello, everyone. My name is Yoav Rivero Fernandez. I'm the owner of G-Lock Sports. I want to open a retail sporting goods in 72 Wisner Avenue. Our main attraction will be our boxing brand, but we'll be supplying sporting equipment from all different categories of commercial sports like baseball, basketball, soccer, football. We'll be doing uniforms as well. Just recently, we've had the capabilities of doing emergency service uniforms as well. We'll have an attraction area in our store as well. This attraction area is a punching bag that analyzes kinetic energy, speed, and endurance of an athlete. It's only found in the West, the UFC and prestige gyms, but we'll be having it in our store as well. And that's pretty much what we plan to do.
That's a lot. That's good. All right. Ms. Tu, do we have the mailings? I'd like to open the public hearing. Ms. Tu, do we have anything in writing? Anyone on the telephone? Anyone from the public wishing to address this application, please step forward. In that case, I'll go to the board for any questions, comments, or concerns. Yes, Mr. McCormick.
Can we talk about parking again?
Okay.
Where will they be parking?
Pardon me?
Where will they be parking?
On the street.
On the street?
Yep, whatever available, they can use, it's on the street. Yep.
Are we concerned about traffic and movement of vehicles? It's a congested intersection as it is.
Well, they've had stores there before, we've had no issue, so we're always concerned about traffic, but in this case, they have the right to have a store and park on the street as see fit.
I don't mean to interrupt. I also received a letter from a nearby business just because parking could have been an issue.
Okay.
We have a written letter saying that they give us permission to 2 to 3 parking spaces if needed.
Can you submit that, please?
And 80 Wisner Avenue,
Okay,
and it's signed by the,
no problem, you just grab that from me, I'll read it into the record.
it's either or. Okay, I'll take it back. Thank you.
So it says, to whom it may concern, I am Jonathan Vivilato, owner of Angel and Son Premier Auto Spa and 80 Wisner Avenue, Middletown, New York, 10940. I give G-Lock Sports LLC permission to occupy 2 to 3 of our parking spaces when and if needed for their customers or employees. If any questions, feel free to contact me at 845-241-3401 Thank you. Angel and Son Premier Auto Spa, 80 Wisner Avenue, Middletown, New York, 10940. Signed, Jonathan Devilato. So for the record, he gained a couple extra spots.
Yeah, to the extent that they're able to be given.
Correct. All right, Mr. McCormick? Fine.
Any issues from Mr. Martinez?
No issues.
Mr. Guattari?
Sir, my only issue, and I'd like you to be aware of it, 80 Wisner there, that auto detail shop is the property behind Niger's. So those 2 spots, 3 spots are fine, but it's not the property directly next to your business.
Okay.
The other concern that we have is the firehouse next to your business is for department members, and it's not a municipal lot. So just as long as you're understanding that the parking available to you would be on the street, not the firehouse lot, and the lots that were given to you by Angel and Son is actually behind Niger's down through the lot. So it is a bit of a walk, which is fine, just as long as you understand that maybe you might want to discuss the property next to you moving forward. All right, that's all.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I have to go back to the public one more time. Anyone wishing to speak on this application, please step forward. No one stepping forward. I need to close the public hearing. I need a motion. Mr. Brito, I need a second. Mr. McCormick, all in favor? Aye. Public hearing being closed. I'll move to the board one more time. Any questions, comments, or concerns? None being had, we'll go to the resolution for G Lock Sports LLC, 72 Wisner Avenue, Retail Sports. I need a motion. Mr. Brito, I need a second. Mr. McCormick. Discussion? Roll call. Mr. Madden?
Yes.
Mr. McCormick?
Yes.
Mr. Brito?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
All right, next on the agenda this evening, we have a preliminary for the Promenade Middletown LLC, 60 to 78 Fulton Street, an expansion.
This is a presentation to the board, no action to be taken, just to be aware of the project.
Okay,
Good evening.
good evening. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is Stephen Laufer from Promenade at Middletown. We just celebrated our 13th year in Middletown. So we're happy to bring to the board's attention our plan. With my colleague Paul Blitzis, the Chief Operating Officer of Promenade, is here, and Brian, who's the project architect. And he'll go through the building. I just wanted to give you kind of a little, every 13 years, an update on the Promenade. Our project is, currently we operate an assisted living in the city of Middletown. As many of you know, we service the community. Many of our residents formerly lived in the city of Middletown and currently live in the city of Middletown and the surrounding areas. Generally, 80% of our residents come from a 15-mile radius. Not only that, our employees, I just took a look, over 75% of our employees live in the city of Middletown, including our executive director, and many of our directors are all Middletown employees. And what we're actually trying to do is expand now. We're not really expanding the number of residents that we serve, but we're trying to expand the type of resident. Right now, we provide assisted living services to the community. What we do not or have not yet provided is memory care services for residents and a day program for the community at large. So in order to come to Promenade, you live at Promenade, and we could only retain a resident for a certain period of time. But if they have memory care Alzheimer's, dementia, we're not authorized to care for them, and then we have to discharge them, which is generally not in anyone's best interest. Recently, we were awarded by the Department of Health a grant to try to at least partially fund an expansion. And so we're turning to the city of Middletown and to all our partners and municipal partners and friends to try to make this project into a reality. The basic idea, and let me just kind of pick up the board.
I think the first one is, that's the overall.
So basically, and before I turn it over to Brian, basically, the idea is going to be that we're going to put a little extension onto our building we're going to convert some existing assisted living rooms to a memory care unit, build out some additional public space designated for our memory care residents, as well as open a day program for the community so that people that may live with their children, they can't or don't want to live at the promenade, but they just, when family members go to work and they want to kind of drop their loved one off at the facility, we will have the ability to do that. And so I'm going to turn it over to Brian to just kind of go through the building. And of course, I'll take questions if there are any at the end of his presentation.
Let me start with the site plan. So the existing building was built back in the late 70s as a original motor inn? Yes. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. The original building itself, the existing building, the original building itself was built as a motor inn, later adopted into a nursing or assisted living facility. Our addition, we're actually having two, one a smaller 2,000, approximately 2,002 square foot addition, so it's a total of 4,200 for both of the floors, and then approximately a 9,500 square foot addition on the back side of the building, which will be primarily the memory care. The new addition at the front are actually new resident, normal assisted living resident rooms, where the back is primarily for that memory care. There is, I can actually pull up that overall plan. What we tried to do is not disturb as much of the existing building as possible. So what we have here is you're renovating the existing rooms to memory care. We're having two exterior inside courtyards, and then all of the public functions or day type activities are actually along the back side, where we have here, you have entrance for the daycare. The resident entrance is actually in the, thank you, in the back, or actually in the front here. And let me go back to my plan here. We have activity rooms, a quiet room, a lounge room, what's called a country open kitchen. It's another activity type space. And then we have here dining and an outside, another outside courtyard here for dining as well. It's designed to really help people of an altered state of mind or memory care facility to have a normal or everyday function in terms of what activities they have, how they live, and how they move throughout the building. Also, another reason why we decided or situated the building on the back here is to prohibit, memory care people leaving the facility, getting access to the main street.
Okay.
I just have a quick
Sure.
question.
Yes,
Go ahead.
please.
You said you were adding 9,500 to one part of it.
Yes.
Is that two floors or one
No,
floor?
the 9,500 square feet is along the back. It's one story.
Great, thank you.
Yes.
The front addition is
Front
two-story.
addition, which is here. So this is, if you can, this is the total building right here, and this small area is that addition, that two-story addition, and on the back side here is this. So going back to the site plan, this is that addition. On the back, the one-story addition, this is the two-story addition. These are just resident rooms.
on that front.
Okay.
So your net effect of adding more clients is just going to be on the day side, not on the overnight side?
Correct. We're actually not adding any additional beds.
Right, so I'll speak to what we're doing is, in order to convert some of our assisted living beds to memory care beds, we took 24 existing rooms, which have become 20, 23 that became 20. We tried to replace them in the front, which is, we were able to get 12 in. So we're going to be down a certain number of rooms, but we're going to have the memory care increased range of residents that we can serve, and that's a trade-off that I think is important for the promenade and for the community in general.
I know at one point there was a concern with the fire trucks. Has that been resolved?
So, right now, and my civil engineer unfortunately fell ill. He has the flu and could not be here to come and discuss this. What we have discussed, and we wanted to get through the preliminary before we started issuing an additional plan, we have more than enough space. I know one of the other comments was that we are way over parked, because this used to be this motor inn, and that's why the parking is in such excess. So we have more than enough space, if we took away some parking spaces, to actually add a complete truck apparatus turnaround here. We have more than enough space to do that. So then we can have access around. The other possibility is that if we needed to, depending on the type of apparatus you wanted, if you wanted to have the longer apparatus, have complete access all the way around, we can move the dining hall back a little bit to allow for that access. We, in fact, along here at this angle, we have about 36 feet. We can clearly clear the truck if we move it back a couple additional. In fact, I believe that we can do it now.
I think you have to make arrangements
Sure.
with our fire department.
Yeah, I've been in contact with the engineer. I emailed him all the specifications of the trucks as well as the turning radius, and we're just waiting to hear back from him. My concern is the parking. I understand the parking lot, but the access in the event of emergency to the entire building, especially that rear area, as it stands now, would be difficult. When you pull in the East Avenue second entrance, it is tight in there, and then most of the apparatus turns to, the initial response is to the front of the building, but the rear of the building, now that you're talking about adding additional patients, additional services, additional thing, there may be more of a response to the rear. So we have to take that into account and discuss it with the engineer and the fire chiefs. Okay?
I mean, we will more than willing to
Yeah.
take in any comments and adjust as needed. I think that having the truck turn around, the apparatus turn around here,
Right.
having multiple exits and entrances along East and on Fulton, as well as having the complete access to here and having access to turn around and then entering here. This will still be a roadway.
As long as that's the case, we should be okay, but we just have to talk with the engineer and the fire chief to make sure.
Yeah, we will definitely make sure that we can fit your trucks.
Thank
As
you.
well as we, in fact, accommodated an ambulance entrance on the back here as
Right.
well.
So, yeah,
So
okay.
we've-
Thank you.
Is there a ledger on the diagram showing required parking versus what's needed?
I believe so.
So
He
I can
started.
tell you,
His CPL has made a note of it. That's why he got the note about more parking spots than required.
so per your zoning, we have one parking space for each 5 patients. We are way over parked. That's what I'm not concerned about, taking out parking spaces to allow for the complete turnaround of the trucks. With my civil engineer, we've already determined where we can do that without disturbing what happens in operations and whatnot, or where people park or where staff park. We can easily accommodate, the truck turnaround, as well as more than enough parking for what happens
How many employees at any given time are there?
Currently, there are approximately 70 employees. We're looking to add maybe another dozen employees. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's total.
Total employees.
At a given time, he means day shift,
It's about 20,
second shift, whatever.
right, it's about 20 employees per,
20 or so,
20 to 25, yeah.
20 to 25 per shift.
And how many residents actually have cars, if any?
We have about 120 residents, and I would say I could count on one hand.
It's like about 5 to 10.
About
yeah.
5, yeah.
I count. When was there one last time?
And as we convert to memory care, those totals may go down.
What about visitors?
So we definitely, in the evening, will have visitors, but again, usually evening is actually lower staff ratios and higher resident visitors.
Visitors are also staggered, right? So they'll come in, you know, when mom's birthday's happening and things like that, and events like that. So they'll come in to visit their loved ones. We've never had any issues with visitors parking, finding parking, or having accessibility to the building or parking.
I believe that we have currently 78 parking spaces. So I per the requirements that we have, I think we need 40. So we're more than double. So if we take away. I think legally, this the 70, but, so even if we took away 10 spaces here and another 10 spaces there, we still are all over the amount of spaces that are required. But we will accommodate whatever we need to make to happen. I've been discussing with the civil engineer how possibly we can reconfigure some of these areas to include additional, you know, if we had to take away some parking here, where we would add some additional parking on one side and then add additional parking for handicap and whatnot on the other side as well. And still have the ability to do the complete access turnaround and whatnot for fire trucks, ambulances, and emergency services.
They're going to propose 117 spots.
So they're adding.
I think the parking will become more defined once you sit down with the fire department, meet their needs, and then we can look at the parking, because the parking will be affected by whatever they require. I think that can be worked out. You have a lot of parking.
Our goal with the design of the building is to really enhance that area. I mean, the building, as it's a nice building, but our goal is to add something that's going to stand and look very nice in 30 years from now, with a number of nice materials and whatnot.
And do you have a rendering of what you propose?
We have a couple.
Okay.
This is kind of like an aerial, it's not, Just want this to stand up. So, this is the one-story portion. This is that daycare entrance right here. It's a nice, a little bit taller, you know, focal point of entrance, with a lot of nice materials. There is wood look, there's some stucco, there is some stone, some metal panel. It's gonna look very modern, but yet it's not gonna be out of date in 10 years. It's got a nice, rich look to it.
One thing to keep in mind, you are in what we call the DMU zone. You'll have to go before the Architectural Review Board
100%.
to take a look at each one of those renderings and get their opinion and their approval. Okay?
And we'll also need it as part of your application when you fully submit.
Yeah, we'll submit a nice full package that shows you know, we have a color elevations here, but we'll call out all the materials, all of our windows, whatnot, and what is required.
You do have a comment letter from CPL.
Yes.
Just please make sure that you address the open items.
Yes, in fact, we've already started to work on that, and we wanted to get through tonight's meeting before we responded to, in case there was additional comments that we wanted to
Fine.
add. But
Good.
we actually already have our responses, but we wanted to have a conversation with you guys first here tonight.
Okay, that's fine. Any other comments, questions, boards, anything? Okay, they've been working on this for a little while, and we thought it was time to bring it to the board so you guys could see it, see what it looks like, and think about it. All right? Gentlemen, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
That's it for this evening, our agenda. All I need now is a motion to adjourn. That's unanimous.